Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is one that is seriously long overdue. I did a majority of my makeup shopping during Black Friday last year. So I have had these products for a couple of months and most of them I haven't touched because I have been waiting to unbox them with you guys because I love you so much and I wanted to share this with you. However, this is one that I have featured on my channel before and I have sort of updated my collection. So today's video is an Anastasia Beverly Hills haul. It did come in this box. I am completely obsessed with every single product in here, so let's jump into it. I did want to show you how much stuff this box came with, like all of this confetti. Oh my gosh, it was such a mess. It exploded everywhere the first time I opened it. But it actually comes with this on top and at the bottom. So my products are sandwiched in between here. And I think that is so amazing because I've heard a lot about like single shadows and single pans basically just crumbling and cracking during transit. But ABH has got your back. Like, this makes sure that absolutely nothing can get damaged, and considering how much money you actually have to spend in order to get a couple of the products like normally, I'm very impressed. I did get free 2-day shipping or something. It was all part of the Black Friday thing, so definitely keep an eye out for them for Black Friday because that is the one time that I did buy like a bunch of ABH things. No, I did not get liquid lipsticks because the discount. Okay, let's talk about Black Friday. The discount for the Anastasia was a bit all over the place. It ranged from 20% to 60%. So I actually focused my efforts on getting the 60% off things because I really wanted to try some of her more popular products, but they weren't really discounted well enough for me to be interested. Like 20% off of $28 doesn't really do much for me. These are the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour powders. This is ash brown, which is sort of a cool dark brown color. This is in golden peach, which is the perfect highlight shade for me. I am completely obsessed. Not banana, golden peach. And this is carob, which is my go-to contour like all day, every day, even in the cream palettes. This is definitely the one that I go for. These each usually retail for, I think, about $14, but I did get them at 60% off. This is the size of it. I think this is such a beautiful, well-sized product. It's well packaged inside this plastic. You do have to be careful as you open it up though. But here we are. This is the pan. I think my finger is covering it, but yeah. This is the pan, and this is the back of the pan, so it does have all the information written back here. I did want to get two different contour shades because I wanted to show you what a warm contour and a cool contour look like, but in the screen it looks a lot lighter than it is in person. I think just compared to carob, because carob is so dark, this one does look lighter. But as you can see, the packaging in carob is so much more dirty because this is my go-to shade. This I use on a day when I don't really want to contour, but this is perfect for this absolute cut contoured look, you know. So I am obsessed with carob. I feel like this is the perfect color for any woman of color. The highlight color, I just think these colors are the absolute perfect highlight and contour combo for a person of dark skin, especially golden peach. I'm just going to swatch that on my finger. This is ash brown, especially if you look like on the top and bottom of the swatch as opposed to the actual swatch itself, because when you're contouring you never use this much product, but if you do look at how much it's darkened the area around where the swatch is, you can definitely see that it does have an effect. Carob, look at that. That is the perfect contour brown if ever there was one. Absolutely stunning. I think they are so beautiful and so different. And of course, me being me, I did not care that I already had a contour kit that I have featured on my channel before. This is the contour kit that I featured in my Sephora Dubai haul, and I love this. As you can see from how well used it is, I haven't been picking it up as of recently because I have been more focused on the powder contours, because apparently it actually is easier to highlight and contour with powders. Like, I had no idea. So I haven't used this in like a couple of months maybe, but as you can see from the pans and how dirty they are like around them, this is definitely a product that I am absolutely loving, and I was using it before I got the powders so heavily that I was worried I would hit pan pretty quickly. So me being me being a complete makeup obsessed person, I got a second one during the Black Friday sale. This was 40% off, I believe, and the original price is $40. So I paid $24 for this. I remember the exact number because, as I said in my Sephora haul, I overpaid for this by a lot, and I was really not happy about the fact that I overpaid. So I saw underpaying for this as sort of a way to make back my money. So now it's just like I sort of paid full price for both of them as opposed to overpaying and underpaying, so it kind of balances itself out. This is the logic of a shopaholic. So like now you're seeing, like, I need AA. Like I feel like I need to go and tell this story in AA and be like, that is how bad the situation has gotten, you know. But I am very happy I got this, although it did leave me feeling a bit confused. Here's a reason. First of all, you can see the packaging is different. The other kit comes with just a slide away case, as opposed to this one, which actually goes inside the case and needs to be removed from it. So that's one thing. And before I turn it around, can you already tell that there's a huge difference? Look at that. Now look at the original one. Can you see what I'm talking about? My original one, like the first one that I had, this is so much bigger. This is a heavier palette, yes, but this is so much bigger. They both have glass fronts, but they have ABH written very, very differently on them. This doesn't have cream contour kit written on it. This one does. Before I settled on getting this as opposed to the NYX one or the Elf one or any of those, I watched so many videos on how to tell if a palette is a knockoff or not. So I'd be watching other people reviewing this product and I'd be like, oh my gosh, darling, I'm so sorry you got a knockoff. But obviously I wouldn't comment on it because I didn't want to be a troll or be seen to be a troll. But I was like convinced that they were reviewing knockoff palettes and that they genuinely didn't know it. Then I got this in the mail and I was like, what the hell is going on? So I did have a mini panic attack and I went on Sephora. So here's what I figured out the situation to be, basically. One of them is the original and one of them is the newer packaging. Which I have no idea. It was a Black Friday sale that I bought this directly from the Anastasia website. Like no third parties, no secondhand makeup, no nothing. So I am guaranteed this is an original product, yes? And because it was a Black Friday sale, I think they may have gone into their original stock, like the first of the first that they ever made, and maybe send those out before sending out the new packaging, or maybe this is just the new packaging for this one and this is the latest one. Like I really can't tell because I did go on the Sephora website because I actually bought this one as well in the Sephora store myself. I did not send someone. I walked in there myself and picked it off a shelf, and I refuse to believe that Sephora would sell a knockoff. So I guess I'm stuck with two different looking palettes because even the colors inside them are different and they are both the deep version. Yeah. As you can see on the back, they both have deep on them, but the back is completely different. And this is how people were saying that, like, you tell if it's a knockoff or not, because this one has a sticker, this one has printing on the cardboard. This one is made of actual cardboard that has like a metallic grip. This is fully plastic and it's not metallic at all. Like it just holds or it clicks into place. The colors are actually really, really different. And I feel like they're trying to give us a color that's darker than carob in this one. Whereas this one, carob is the darkest. So you can see it's nude, coral, cinnamon, chocolate, espresso, and carob. But this one does not have cinnamon. So we have nude, coral, skips ahead to chocolate, espresso, carob, and then gives us rich earth. So I don't really know what's up with that. Maybe they changed their grading system. Maybe she came up with a color darker than carob and she really wanted to include it in the deep palette. I don't know. But I know that cinnamon is a little too dark for me to use as my highlight, as you'll see in the demo. So what I usually do, because I did go in with this one because this has remained untouched. I want it to be pristine until the day I am completely done with this one so I can move on to this. So I actually haven't even swatched this, and I think I will swatch it for you guys. So that is how much I love you. But yes, I have gone in with nude and cinnamon on my face as my highlight color, and I think it's absolutely banging. Nude on its own is way too light for me. It makes me look so ashy, whereas cinnamon is too dull for me. Like it blends into my skin tone too much and you can't really tell that I've highlighted. So in my opinion, it doesn't even look like a natural highlighter. It just looks like there's nothing on my face, and I really don't want to do all that work with the creams and then have it just disappear, you know. So the center one, that is coral, that is a more orangey color. It's more of a corrective color. So I actually used to go in with nude and coral on my face and it would be absolutely perfect. Then I discovered that I prefer nude and cinnamon together, so I'm very happy about that. This is chocolate, this is espresso, this is carob at the end, and chocolate is a very, very light contour for me. It's what I've used on my nose because I didn't want it to be too harsh. But when I use it in my contour area, as you'll see in the demo, I do attempt it on this side, and it just doesn't quite work out for me because I don't find like it's banging enough. It's great for a natural contour, but at the same time, when I'm beating my face, I don't want anything to look natural about it, if that made any sense. Chocolate just doesn't do it for me. Espresso doesn't really do it for me either, but it is a little bit darker. And carob is just, it's the king of the game. Look at that. Look at how contoured my cheek looks. I am loving what I'm seeing in the monitor. So as you can see with these little dips in the palette, the pans are removable. Oh, see like that? And they do have the information at the back. So if you did want to just... Okay, here's a problem. She sells the powders separately on her website, but the last time I checked, she did not have single pans for sale. So as much as you are supposed to be able to build your own palette, the creams are not available individually. So I guess she's working on that, but she has been working on that for a while now, so I don't really know if they're ever really coming out. So these are the final hand swatches. I swatched Golden Peach up here, the powder one in the center, and then my original palette. When I say original, I mean my first one here, and then the ABH Direct from the website is my second palette. So when I say first palette, it's this one, second palette, it's this one. So I have the first palette that I had up here and the second one as the second color. So that's the order in which it follows. The first one up, the second one underneath it, and most of the corresponding colors are exactly the same, so they are the same colors in the pan, except for the nude. My first nude looks a lot more peachy, a lot more brown than this second one. The second one looks almost white, which is kind of throwing me off because that would mean that this one looks ashy on my skin tone. How the hell is this supposed to work with me, you know? Maybe she made it lighter so it could compensate for the fact that cinnamon is no longer there, so that you can mix this whiter nude with the chocolate and actually get a usable color. And I think now that I have destroyed it with my finger swatches, I think I am just going to take a little bit of that and attempt it. Do you see how white that's coming off? I mean, it's a bit insane. And then I'm going to go in with a bit of the chocolate and sort of try to mix that in. But no, this isn't working. I still look completely ashy, and I don't want the chocolate to completely take over because it's just cancelling out the nude like altogether. But I feel like she's definitely missed the mark by changing the type of nude that's made available, because this nude in here is much too white for my skin tone. This nude is definitely lighter than this one, and this one already looks ashy on me, so I can't even imagine what this one is going to start looking like. But other than that, all the colors look exactly the same. This is cinnamon and it's not available in the new one, which is why it doesn't have its corresponding swatch underneath. But this is chocolate, this is espresso, and you can see they look exactly the same. Even carob is the exact same color. This one at the bottom is rich earth. It is the one that's not available in my original palette, the first one. So you can actually see in person, you can't really see a difference, but in the monitor I am seeing through the swatches. Rich earth is definitely a cooler tone contour than carob was. I like rich earth. I like that it is a darker version of carob, but I think I am going to stick to carob for now, and I don't really know what I'm going to do once I actually hit pan on my first palette, because I'm not really seeing this new one as being all that usable. So I've just double checked on the Sephora website, and I can actually see that on the Sephora US website, they do have this palette listed. So maybe this is the palette made available to the American market. But because I did buy mine in the Middle East market, the Sephora Dubai has this palette on its website. So I don't really get why there's a difference between the palettes that are made available to different parts of the world, but I definitely prefer the Middle East version because this is just so much more versatile for women of progressively deeper skin tones. I know chocolate could work as a highlight for like a really dark, beautiful, melanin-filled goddess, you know, but chocolate is a contour color for me. Chocolate is what I use on my nose. I don't really see this as being a practical palette, so I guess if you can, buy your Anastasia Beverly Hills in the Middle East, because it's just a better palette. It makes more sense. It does help though that I did just spend $24 in this as opposed to $40, because then I'd be really upset. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy to have both. And now I think I've talked about contouring enough. One other thing that I did pick up on the website, because I did want to get sort of a variety of products. I mean, not like a huge variety because I didn't want to spend too much money, but I did end up getting an eyeshadow pan. And I'm really excited because I am dying for the Renaissance palette, but I was not about to spend that chunk of money on buying it. I have heard amazing things about their eyeshadows, so I did want to pick one up to try. And I was having a moment where I was obsessed with green. So this is the color Peacock. It is what I have on my eyes right now. I don't know if you can tell. And I actually really love this. It's only unfortunately after I had already done my eyes that I realized that I should have used one of these contour colors on my eyes as eyeshadow, because then it would really complement the look. But unfortunately, Peacock is the only thing that I have on my eyes right now. If you want to see a demo of that, I will post that on Instagram, so keep an eye out for that. Be sure to follow me if you are on Instagram. But yes, Peacock is absolutely stunning. I am completely obsessed with this color. Problem is, it's not all that pigmented. As you can see, the green is definitely there, but it's not as vibrant and it's not a foiled shadow, it's a shimmer shadow. Let's put it like that, because I feel like every time I pick up like a shimmering shadow, I expect it to be like all metallic and foiled, because Juvia's Place has kind of spoiled me. But yeah, it's more of a shimmer shadow than a really metallic and shiny payoff. So do you see that? Do you see how gorgeous it is on my finger? One thing that I have noticed is that with this particular color, it does give a better payoff when it does have a cream base. So that's what it looks like with no base. And that's what it looks like with a base. So you can see with the green cream base, it does definitely give a more vibrant, more shiny payoff. But just on its own, it does give a really good color payoff. It's not hard to work with. It's very creamy. It doesn't go on patchy at all. There's absolutely zero fallout, which is so good. But it's just a more vibrant color when it does have a base. So I would definitely suggest using a base with this. I did do my eyes with a wet brush, so this is about as foiled as it gets on its own without any base on it. I have normal to dry skin, so you would think that if this was dry, it would definitely be dry on me. But I just go in with a dampened sponge, not wet. I've tried it wet and it just wrecks the whole thing. Make sure you squeeze out your sponge completely so that it's just barely dampened. And then I go in with this and it lays down under my eyes so perfectly. And the reason that I absolutely love using this is because I never have to set it. So maybe people are finding it dry because you put on a kind of dry product and then you set it with powder, which just sucks all the moisture out. I never have to set it. This is my face completely unset hours after I've done this makeup look, and I think it still looks pretty damn good. This is a highlight, so this isn't like sweat that you're seeing, but you can see my contour is still flawless and in place. So I really like it. I have absolutely no complaint. Both palettes feel equally creamy, and I've had this one for a lot longer than I have had this one. And this one has been opened maybe twice now, and this one has been opened repeatedly, and it hasn't dried out. So if that's something you are concerned with in regards to the Anastasia palette, don't let it be a concern, because mine is still in absolutely mint condition. I am obsessed with it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Be sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience has been, in case it's been different. And I guess I'll see you in my next video.